Good day, Brittle Planet listeners. This is Eric Peterson, and I'm quarantining from Salt Lake City. And today I have the distinct honor of being joined by guitar virtuoso Bill Hudson. Bill, how are you doing today?
I'm great, man. How's things out there in Salt Lake City?
It's a little bit off and on. It's cool, and then it's warm, and then we're kind of doing the testing the waters with the COVID thing, deciding whether we want to do it or not do it, and so it's interesting, but it's not bad. Where are you quarantining from?
Yeah, I'm in Orlando, Florida. That's where I live, and traffic is back. As of last Monday, I believe, business are kind of reopening. But I mean, it's like everything is back. Traffic is back. I'm afraid of the consequences of this. So I'm still staying home. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just amazed that even with because the Magic Kingdoms and all those are shut down. So I'm just amazed that the traffic's still that bad. But
man, it's crazy. Like a lot of people here in Florida just aren't taking this as seriously as I think they should. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, nobody really knows what the reality is. But I'm choosing to quarantine. I have a, I just don't want to take any chances. But yeah, people are going out to the beach. People are getting together. There's a whole lot of that going on here. So I'm just home trying to shield myself from everyone.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And so how are things been overall for you since the shit hit the fan?
Well, it sucks because I had, all together, man, about 30, probably 35 shows canceled between, all the tours and everything I had to do. Immediately, I had a Doro tour canceled. I was supposed to do, I think, 8 or 9 U.S. shows with her. And that would have been like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So financially, I was counting on that. So that's the number one thing, like I honestly don't know when these shows are going to happen or if they will happen. So, now I'm kind of like trying to figure out how to do things the new way. I'm doing a couple live streams. I'm doing, I'm actually also taking the time to actually compose more music for the second album for NorthTale too. And, I've been talking about it, because the album came out last August and it did what it had to do, in my opinion. We played couple of festivals. We had some more canceled now, and I think it's time to put out some new music, and I wanted to put it out by September. That's not gonna happen now, and it's okay. So I'm working harder on the songs now, and it's giving me a chance to, which is great, because frankly, I always tell people, I write all the time. I write when I'm on the road and all, but that's not true. Like good work is only done when I'm sitting at home, like focused on it, and it's giving me an opportunity to do that. So that's a good thing.
So I mean, you talk about the NorthTale, your guys' release. I mean, you couldn't be any happier with that. I mean, right? I mean, you killed it.
Oh yeah, man. That album was, for me personally. I wanted to do that album since I was 15. That's the truth. Some of the songs are really that old too. Well, maybe not 15, but they're I was like 17, 18 when I wrote some of that. Because I wanted it to sound like a power metal record from the 90s, like something that would come out by Stradivarius or Gamma Ray or something like that. And I think that's exactly what the result was, you know what I mean? So I couldn't be happier. I definitely feel it's a chapter of my life that had to happen, and that now, this is now closed, which is killer.
Well, I mean, so for a lot of the other bands you play in are not anything like this project.
Yeah.
Is this your true passion, is power metal?
Yeah, that's the truth. That's dude, I grew up. I had an interesting upbringing musically, because I started with Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden, just like everybody from where I'm from in Brazil, But at some point, I really got into Halloween and Stradivarius and Gamma Ray and those bands, and during my teen years, Sabotage was huge too for me. And during my teen years, I mean, those bands were all that I listened to. I was actually kind of close-minded too. Like, I didn't like anything that was heavier. I didn't like, Eventually, I got into Dream Theater, and like that took me to more fusion music because I was looking for their influences. And I ended up, I had a period that I was very much into fusion, and Alan Holdsworth and Frank Gambale and like tribal tech. That was a big one for me. Vital Tectones. And then I just kept sort of improving as a musician. And at one point, in my mid 20s, I started getting a lot of offers to work with bands, And at that point, music became, even though it was still a dream and all that, it sort of became a job because I had to learn so many songs. Like I always, I'll join this band and I have to learn 20 of their songs. So now I'm immersed in their style, in the way of doing things, blah, blah, blah. Until, one day I realized that most of, like, when I stopped to think about it, I'm like, okay, most of my dreams have come true. I've played everywhere. I've done every festival. I've done everything I wanted to do, but there's still something missing. It's like something is not feeling right. And I was like, well, yeah, I didn't release any of my music. I'm always working on someone else's music. So when I got to work on these songs, I didn't really think whether or not it would sell or if it would get signed or anything. I'm like, I'm just going to play the songs I want to play because I don't get to do that.
Yeah.
So it turned out exactly like I wanted. I couldn't be it.
It's interesting because to me, when I listened to the album, like the video for you guys did for Everybody Is a Star, I love that video, by the way. But the song itself, lyrically and musically, reminds me a lot of some of the Ed Guy music, and it has that kind of a sound to it, and I love it. I mean, it's a great sound.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, man. That song is the oddball in the. Some of the people in the band didn't even want to include it in the album. And I was like, you guys are crazy, But when I wrote that, I did have that in mind. I wanted a song that was a little goofier, but still melodic. Still could be sing along, but with funny lyrics or something like that. And that's exactly what we got.
That's totally what it reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of just a mid 2000s Ed Guy song with Toby just being goofy and just having fun and almost like a lavatory love machine, but just a great catchy song.
Yeah, that's a good example too. I love that song.
Yeah, and so but then it shifts over to more a lot of more melodic and faster paced stuff, and you guys captured the Hammerfall sound in some of those early bands. That's exactly what you wanted, I'm assuming?
Yes, exactly, man. There was a period in the 90s, between, I want to say, like 96 and 99, where pretty much every record that came out was badass. And I happened to be an early teenager then, which is, according to research and books that I've read, that's where you discover the music that you kind of love for the rest of your life. At least for me, that's exactly how it worked.
Yeah.
I always make a joke, but it's not really that much of a joke. Like the first NorthTale album sounds like my birthday party when I was 14.
Nice.
Yeah, because on my 14th birthday, I got a bunch of like my favorite albums as gifts. It's weird, the 14th specifically, but I remember, So on that birthday, I got Keeper of the Seven Keys, both. I got both Keepers. I got Episode by Stradivarius. I got what's something else. I got to Episode and Twilight Time.
Nice.
And then I got like Land of the Free by Gamma Ray. Dude, I think Glory to the Brave. All that because like at the time I got obsessed with power metal basically because of Angra.
Yeah.
Because they were so big in Brazil at the time. And I was like, I just want albums from bands that are like that. So people like my friends from school and the people that came to my birthday just all told their parents to buy. I gave them a list of names, and I got a bunch of these albums on that birthday. And I think that the first NorthTale album sounds like an amalgamation of those.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's funny is for me, I grew up in the '80s, and so I grew up with a lot with the hair bands and some of that stuff, and even some of like the LA Guns and stuff, that heavier stuff. But the '90s came around and grunge set in, and I was totally just misguided on music. I was like, where am I going to go now? Where am I going to go now? And then in the late '90s, I started doing the same thing. I started listening to some of this power metal stuff, and it totally reminded me of what I was growing up with. And since then, I've totally been just drawn to that power metal genre. And,
Man, that's one of the reasons that I don't understand why in America the genre never caught on. Because, it is as close as it gets from the hair metal of the 80s. It's like, it's melodic, it's played in E minor, it's a blonde vocalist.
It's clean vocals. It's clean vocals. It's not Cookie Monster vocals. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
And so for me, like why it never caught on, I have no idea. But every time power metal bands come to the States, I've known Sabaton for a long time, and I've seen them since 2011 when they've started coming to Salt Lake. And every time they come here, I see them and I talk to them, and first thing I say is, "I'm sorry, we suck." Because but it's funny because they started off just in small clubs. Each time I saw it grow bigger and bigger. This last tour they were on for their great tour, they brought Hammerfall with them, and it's almost sold out one of our big places. And I said, I went to him this time and I said, you know what? I'm not sorry this time because I'm proud of us. And I wish
that's awesome.
And I wish the rest of the world would do that too. I wish the rest of the United States would just latch on to this because it's great music.
Yeah, man. It's I gotta say, Sabaton is a band that did everything right. You know what I mean? Not like everything they did was right, was in the right time, everything. And, like here in America, they caught on, they're playing big places, but in Europe, they're playing 15,000 people.
I know.
Arenas, Yeah, it's really cool, man. It's really cool to see that. A lot of my young students, playing Sabaton songs for me. I'm like, okay, how do you know this?
But even for you playing, like I saw you last year playing for Doro in Vegas, with Metal Church.
Oh, that was not a big show at all.
No, but I'm sure like when you were in Europe playing with Doro, you had huge crowds.
Yeah, in Europe. Yeah, we did Russia. That was a little better. Yeah.
So I don't get it.
You were at the Vegas show, you said?
I was at the Vegas show. I got some great shots of you.
Oh, that's cool, man. That was, I remember it was the House of Blues, but the small one, right?
No, it was Vamped. It was Club Vamped.
Oh, Vamped. Yeah, no, the House of Blues was Anaheim. Never mind. Or something like that. Vamped, that's right. Fucking Vamped, man. I love that venue, too. I played there all the time, so I love it.
So, I'm excited for this. It's been almost a year since it came out?
It's been about, what month is that?
It's May.
May, yeah. It's going on a year. Yeah, it's August. It came out in August.
So
9 months.
And you guys, how many shows did you guys play as a band together?
3. We only got to play 3 shows, and because we kind of had bad timing with the booking. You know what I mean? Like that was bad on our part because we were like, I'm not sure what we were thinking, but we didn't really get a booking agent until basically when the album came out. Okay. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't really like click with anyone until we finally got Dragon Productions. But that was like when the album came out, so they started looking then.
Okay.
And but we did do Sabaton open air. That was badass. That was our first show.
Oh, it was.
And yeah, man, and it was really cool too because we weren't headlining, but we played last. We played after the headliner,
Nice.
and I expected, the headliner was Apocalyptica, and I expected, maybe 100 people, but the entire crowd stayed. It was pretty much like we headlined. It was cool.
I went to that festival in 2018. I loved that festival. It's like the coolest little big festival.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, it's just like a Sabaton show, but it turns into a festival.
Yeah.
And that was really, that was amazing for us. And then from there we went to Japan and we did a Vulcan Fest with who did we play with? Aeostorm, Gravedigger, Bloodbound, and we did two shows in Tokyo, and that was it. That was the only 3 shows we did. We had another festival for July. That's obviously not going to happen.
Yeah.
And Prague Power USA we have scheduled, but who knows what's going to happen there,
Yeah.
So if things do work out, we will be playing a US show in October.
Nice.
Otherwise, sometime.
Yeah. And then, so how is it? I mean, essentially the band besides you is Swedish.
The keyboard player is American too.
Oh, is he? Okay. How is it working? Have you learned any of the Swedish language at all?
No, not really, because they speak English so perfectly.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's pretty funny that they all you say one word and their mind switches from Swedish to American so easily, or English.
Yeah, man. I mean, Swedish. Being in Sweden, because I stay there quite a bit to rehearse, for the first show, and they're in Borlänge. They're not really in Stockholm. So when I say they, it's Christian's family. They're in Borlänge, which is like a little town. But anyone that you address and try to talk will respond in perfect English to you, no matter who it is. The cleaning person, the guy at the gas station, it doesn't matter. They know perfect English. It's always like that. So learning Swedish is hard. And also our drummer Patrick, even though he is Swedish, he lives here in Florida.
Oh, okay.
So we rehearse together quite a bit.
Isn't Borlänge, isn't that up by Fallen anyway?
Kind of, yeah, but it's, I don't know, it's like, it's, maybe, I don't know, like a 20-minute thing.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah, it's closer to Falun than it is to Stockholm.
So I have a question for you. I've been trying to ask everybody this question. If you could name a song of anyone that you have written or sung or anything like that best describes the state of the world right now, what would it be?
It's actually a song I'm writing right now.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. I'm very inspired about this, but it's not gonna be like the virus is gonna kill us. Nothing like that, because I've seen people writing pretty aggressive songs, calling it virus, calling it pandemic.
Yeah.
I'm writing like actually a 10-minute song about it, and it is very inspired by what's going on now. But if I had to take another song, one that isn't mine, it would probably be like Michael Jackson Earth Song.
Yeah.
Or like Stradivarius Mother Gaia.
There you go. That's a good one.
Like something like that.
That's a good one.
Those two songs basically, say the same thing.
Yeah. Well, Bill, I appreciate your time. This has been amazing to talk to you because you're such a good guy to talk to and such an easy guy to talk to. It makes my life really easy. So.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. And thank you so much for for the exposure, because NorthTale really needs a lot of exposure in America, and shows like yours and a few others are giving us the opportunity. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So, and next time when you guys finally get to tour, I hope you get to come to Salt Lake, because I would love to see you guys live. So.
Yeah, man. I've been there once, but I don't remember the name of the venue. But I played with the Cobra and the Lotus.
Did you
This
really?
was like, yeah, that was 2015. I want to say it's 2015 too. Or maybe it was, no, it was 15. I know it was 15 because I had played this huge show headlining Wacken, with Sabotage and TSO.
Uh-huh.
Then I got on the plane and came to Salt Lake to play with Cobra, and there was like 9 people. It was a pretty good contrast.
Who did they were they opening for somebody?
No, it was a headliner show. And it was just a US headliner tour, and the crowds, I don't know, ranged from 9 people to like 22.
Really?
Yeah. And the Salt Lake show was the first one. I remember that.
Wow. I'm
yeah,
sure I was
a
there. I
very
probably
good
have
tour.
pictures of you from that show too.
From the Cobra show?
Oh yeah.
You were at that.
I'm sure I was.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was like it didn't really look like a venue. Like it was kind of there was like a tiny stage.
Okay.
Like maybe like a foot from the ground. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it was like across the street from this big church, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Bill,
man. So
I'll,
cool, man. Cool.
I'll see if I can dig up some of those photos and I'll send you some.
Awesome, man. I would love to. Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for the space.
Of course, and everybody go pick up NorthTale because it's a great power metal album. So.
Please do that, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
You too.